Good evening, Randomizer fans, and welcome to part 2 of the Play-In Race Weekend Extravaganza for the Final Fantasy Randomizer Chaos Comedy Tour Spring Tournament. My name is Lorfin Borfin, and joined with me in the booth tonight is Jet. How's it going, dude?
It's going really well. I think the play-in races are some of my favorite parts of Spring Tournament. It's kind of the last gasp to get into the brackets before, some super tough games come up. So we got a big race here tonight, and I'm really excited to see what these runners have in store for us.
Yep. On our screen tonight, we got Danny 3883, Hate the 13th, Demon Frog, and Krellin 107. We've got a mix of 1 and 2 and 0 and 3 runners, and we've got 16 people in the race tonight, of which 9 are going to advance.
Yeah, so just over half the runners are going to advance here, and that really does change the strategy a little bit. You obviously need to go fast, but you don't need to be the fastest. I think a slightly safer but methodical approach with limited time wasted is what these runners are going to be looking for. What do you think of these parties, Fizzle?
So, I guess I'll just go around the loop. Danny 3883 is taking her variation of speed and power. We've got Fighter, red, black. I like it. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly great. I like it. We've got Hate the 13th taking Fighter, black belt, white, black. I understand the strategy of hedging between Fighter and black belt. Like if you open great Fighter gear, we go Fighter. If we don't, we go black belt. White, black is going to be interesting to see. Like if we roll an early fade, that's going to be killer. But if we don't, that might be some trouble.
Yeah, single sweeper parties can be really dangerous, and neither the fighter nor the black belt rolled magic, so that's not why you're seeing that hedge. It's just a strictly melee hedge. Yeah.
And we're off. Krellin with fighter black belt red black is the safer variation of hedging between fighter and black belt. Meanwhile, Demon with black belt red double black, his version of speed and power. Level 1 magic we got Fire 3.
Yeah, Fire 3 lock. Those are solid level 1 spells. Ice 2, limited utility, but can definitely come in the pinch. The thing with Ice is that, yes, it's the highest damage sprite, but it also highest damage elemental spell, but Ice 2 just doesn't do much, and when things aren't weak to it, it's kind of whatever. Fire 3, though, going to basically serve us well throughout the entirety of the Inner Sea. Ooh, that's a good news for the fighter comp. We have a tail for sale in the Canaria item shop. So tail, of course, very nice for the fighter comps. They're going to be happy to see that. Guaranteeing access to promotion, assuming we do find a floater, and the floater is required ideally, will be a nice pickup. Although level 1 white magic, not too great. So level 2, level 3, still critical to see if that fighter is going to get any white magic worth learning. Or, like last night, we could just find an XCal plus 5. Demon Frog decided to go open a few boxes. I'll have to see if that's common. Generally speaking, I find fighter comps open boxes. Black belt comps will just skip it, but it looks like all 4 runners on screen here are likely to be opening boxes. I'd be surprised if Danny skips the Canaria box, or sorry, the Toph boxes, but you never know. Yeah, Danny's also gonna go for a walk, and Demon Frog takes a wipe. Yep, zombies with heat, that'll do it. We're gonna see we'll see if we get equity. Ooh, Krellin gets some turn order, and also some really nice HP rolls. Danny only on 2 zombies. Doesn't get turn order. Oh, gets terrible rolls too. Okay, yep, Danny's out. Luckily nothing in the top left there. So these runners are good enough to know that if they don't go in on the same, if they soft reset there instead of hard resetting, they'll be able to dodge that. And you can see already that that's what both Danny and Hate have done, because you can see they're on a different encounter cycle going up to the Temple of Fiends. So unlikely to hit those zombies again. Of course, they could hit a different pack of zombies, and that happens. Hate, though, over chests. Gonna go take on Garland. Fire 3 shouldn't be too much of an issue. Demon Frog also doing it.
So I turned away for a moment. What ended up wiping Demon Frog? Did I hear that correctly? Was that
everyone
zombies with heat?
Everyone wiped on heat zombies. Except for Krellin. Oh, and it looks like Krellin did also wipe on heat zombies. So yeah, we had 4 wipes on screen.
And it looks like we're getting Adamant and Canal out of King Princess. Adamant's an interesting one. That kind of is the, do you go to Dwarf immediately or do you go to Provoca first?
Yeah. I like the dwarf play first. I used to just go to Provoca no matter what, but I've been going with Adamant and then actually still turning around and going to Provoca. So, if I get maybe, the crown or something, maybe I keep going, but I still like the Provoca to Crescent Lake play over the Marsh play without like an early warp. But
Yeah.
I see an argument both ways.
Yeah, I like the check. It's a question of what I'll reset out of. Like, if it's rod or slab or bottle, I'll reset out of that. If it's loot, I'll reset out of that. But if it's
I'm
something
not resetting out of this. With 5k gold, I don't know if I'm resetting out of anything.
It would be difficult, but the fact that we got a cube out of it would push it over the edge for me. We're definitely carrying this out. Hate the 13th, checking Matoya. Who does that? We got 1,000 gold. We got 1,100 gold and a tent. That's why you don't do that.
Looks like Danny's also deciding to go to the Adamant turn-in. We get Krellin with another Matoya check. I think Matoya checks for gold can be okay. It's not amazing, but it works out. And Danny's about to pick up her cube. Gives us a hooray. We'll see if she resets out of the cube. I just don't think you reset out of 5. Oh, she does.
Danny
we don't want 5k
aggressive.
or cube.
Whether or not I want that 5k gold largely depends on the number of mages I'm carting around. With 2 red mages and a black mage, I would lean towards wanting it, but at the same time, I can see gambling on there just only being 1 spell we want out of Provoca as opposed to like 5.
Yeah, for sure. And also, you can get some money pretty easily around Crescent Lake before you go to Elfland, so that helps as well.
Yep.
I don't know. A little early game money can really increase your safety because it lets you pick up softs and pures and heals and all that jazz. Level 2 white magic
is not good.
No, this white mage not looking great. Really needs level 3 to save us. And ooh boy, red black looking super good.
Yep. Nuke and fast, pretty good. Based on the money that we get out of the Garland fight and the pirate fight, we should probably have enough to go for that. Weapon shop, Icy Silver, that's a dagger. Silver dagger plus 4 is much less interesting than a silver sword plus 4.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't love buying all this gear in Provoca. Like, we have Nuke.
Yeah.
Nuke is the nuke of nukes, as you would say.
Yep.
We don't need too much else to clear everything in the inner game.
So it's kind of like the old saying with like lottery tickets. The first weapon you buy out of a shop is going to increase your melee power immensely. The second one, I don't think we're going to go up that much.
Yep. Incremental gains, right, versus like a huge gain just to get anything makes a big difference. We had 3 pirate fights on screen just to show how close this race is right now. But 2 of these runners one of these runners turned in the Adamant, one of these runners checked the Adamant and reset out of it, the other 2 did not. So while there's a little bit of parity, there's not full information parity.
Right. Armor shop, we got Silver Shield plus 4 is neat, but I don't think we have the money to commit to it unless we carried that 5k out of dwarves. Houses under 1,000 is nice, can't have any right now.
Classic Gamer pointing out correctly, actually, that level 2 white magic actually has the most benefit, probably for the knights. Ruse, one kind of part of the knight solo chaos kit.
Ruse is an excellent backup strategy.
Yes.
For when things go wrong.
Yes.
But in terms of just like what are we gonna take, thinking that we're gonna blow up Topher on the first try, Ruse has been starting to fall off my list of things I want.
So it looks like Hate and Krellin both kind of committing to the counterclockwise play. So they went to Provoke and then they're going to check the Adamant on the way over. I think if you don't check the Adamant right away, this counterclockwise plays makes a lot of sense. Because, you're checking Provoca and then you're going to go to Crescent Lake and Ice Cave Blast and probably check Marsh on the way down. Fire 3 and Nuke are fantastic spells for Marsh, so,
Question in chat, at me. 3 Nuke casters in some parties. Thoughts on going southeast to ice this early? It's a complicated answer. Nuke is part of the puzzle, and it's a great part of the puzzle. But honestly, it's Nuke plus Fire 3 that I'm looking at, because we need 2 levels of sweepers to get through an ice at a low level, and it's Nuke and Fire 3 that gets us there. So yeah, if we have if we picked up a cabin somewhere on our way out of town or whatever, or we're grinding for house money, which I believe is what Danny's doing, heck yeah, let's go, ice time.
Yeah, I don't love it because if there's a warp or an exit in Elfland, you get punished. Not super hard, but all the time save you get from not using the rivers, you kind of lose.
Yeah.
But I think it's a reasonable plan. Demon Frog wiping in the river system. I didn't see what got him, but it's probably Hydras.
Probably
the answer's
Hydras.
always Hydras.
At this level with no armor, it's better than an average chance it was a Hydra.
Wow, yeah, white magic not amazing. We have walls, so we have a lot of utility. Okay, there's level 4 Fade. That's really good for hate. If it was any higher than 4, that would be a truly awful white mage.
Yeah. So it looks like all 4 of our runners bypassing the early ice dive. We have 2 in Elfland at the moment, checking out magic. I saw the white locked, well, promotion locked Fade, which is good for white mages if we get them high enough. I'll be interested to see where our Crescent Lake bound people end up going after that.
Yeah. I've still been just partial to like kind of the safest route, which is Crescent Lake to Marsh and then back to Ice last, but we'll see what these runners decide. There is no warp or exit, so going Ice first is going to be the fastest play, assuming there's no wipes. Right. Of course, one wipe changes everything, right?
It can, depending on the floor, right? Because if it's a first floor wipe, that tells us what we have to watch out for, and tells us like, you know, as soon as we see this thing, just throw all the nukes at it and hope that we get there first.
Yeah. No, sorry. If you wipe on the first floor, it's not a big deal. If you wipe after, like, you know, falling down the hole halfway to the 6-pack, that can hurt.
That can hurt. So, Demon Frog taking a Crescent Lake grind. I have to imagine that this is levels for Ice.
I would think so. With Nuke and Fire 3, like, if you're level 8 to 10 going into Ice, that's feeling pretty okay. Hate going straight to Marsh. I think this play makes a lot of sense, as well as Krellin. Everything's so far so logical, you know?
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of this flag set, is that, you know, you hit up all the free, easy key items early, unless you're feeling incredibly spicy and want to do an early Ice. And then you have your options of Marsh v Ice. Marsh is the safer play, but it's further out of the way. Ice will get you levels and better boxes, but it's also more dangerous.
Speaking of Marsh, we did just find the ship in Marsh, so unless the floater is an Ice, Marsh gonna be the play that you need to make earlier, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's correct. The thing is, if Ice is a dud, it's very unfortunate if you go Ice first, but if Ice is just like, you know, key or something, then it's not going to be a big difference either way. And of course, if it's floater, then that Ice first is fantastic. One note, Hate did not bring a tent to Marsh Cave, so getting scary.
I don't know who would do that. Well, also down to 2 party members. That's a bit of a yike, but I believe in him. I believe he can make it through this.
I think he also is going bottom floor first, so he's gonna miss the ship. He might find something good though that no one else finds.
Ship.
The link ship. No, he's still going.
Oh, the greed,
mad lad.
The greed on this man.
So much greed. Holy smokes. Looks like neither Danny nor Demon Frog are going to be giving us the early Ice play.
Yeah, I understand it. It's a question of confidence more often than not.
I think the race type also plays into it, and your, like, you know, relative where you believe you might stand in terms of execution and things like that. Like, the fact that this is not come first, this is don't come in the bottom half, you can play slightly safer as well. But yeah, Krellin already out of the inner sea, like, real fast here.
Ocho Carib is our first tile that's shown to us. I believe that puts us on A-side tiles. Like 60% on that.
I know, there's a few tiles that you're like A-sides, and then there's others where you're like, I don't care about this tile on either side, what is it?
Yeah.
Wow, the greed on this Hate, man.
Oh.
He's still alive, but I hope he found a save item in Marsh, so even if he gets out, he can at least save.
I was watching and I don't remember seeing one.
Wow. Well, back to Elfland we go. Okay, Krellin making a fairly logical check here, so gets out of the inner sea, but sailing straight to Crescent Lake. Doesn't want to miss out on an early floater, that's a good way to lose the race.
Yeah. Did Krellin and Hate, did they skip Crescent on their way down to Elfland?
they just went clockwise and just didn't go. Like, they went to Provoca and then back clockwise to Adamant to Elfland. Okay, Demon Frog, not as greedy. Doesn't mean he gets out, but it does mean he's a little bit less greedy.
Yeah. With 3 nuke casters, the better safe than sorry route is to just nuke everything between here and the door. You're not going to get any rewards for it, but it is the safer option.
I think with red, black, black, you can go like black belt, red mage, or sorry, run, nuke, run, or something like that as well. But
yeah,
there's an argument to be made either way. These black mages are reasonable at running. Krellin picking up his Oxiel. I want to give a shout out tonight to our restreamer, Lorfin Borfin, and our tracker tonight, myself. This is the 2-man show. If you've ever wanted to see a 2-man FFR broadcast, this is it. We're not quite a 1-man show yet. Lord Fizzlebeef is working on that, and he'll be rolling that out next week. But
not everyone can be a Dengu.
but you're seeing the 2-man. So if you see anything wrong with the reason I'm saying this is because the tracker's just always wrong. So if you see anything wrong with it, please let me know. Danny in Marsh, Demon Frog trying to get out. This encounter table has 3 encounters in a row, like halfway through it. It's kind of, I actually think it's like not even halfway through it. I think it's after like 2 encounters. There's like 3 in a row. So yeah, kind of annoying.
So largely uniform routes between all our runners so far as we're coming up to the 15-minute mark. And as I say that, Krellin decides...
I was not expecting this.
Not expecting an ice dive. Given us being out in the inner sea, I would have expected a trip down to Waterfall, down to Ordeals. We've got our Oxiel, so we can hit sea while we're there. The ice dive is the oh crap, what if there was something in ice dive?
Yeah, sea, not amazing because it's kind of hard for us to kill Kraken. With, you know, if you only have 2 nuke casters, it's like a little sketchy.
Sure.
With 3, I think you're feeling pretty good even at a relatively low level, especially if you do mermaids first for some levels.
Yeah.
I think the on-rack continent is definitely calling my name here. We're still missing just warp and exit, but it sounds like we're just not going to have warp and exit in general.
Yeah. Like, if warp and exit isn't a thing, it's not really a consideration to make. Because no one will have it.
Level 5 magic is the chance for it, so keep your eyes peeled on Demon Frog's side to see if we... not.
Don't care about magic. We are headed for Earth Tile check. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, this is a black belt play if I've ever seen one, but it checks out.
Ooh, Classic Gamer in chat pointing out mummies have rub. There is a very short list of enemies that you do not want to have anything bad fall on. Mummies is at the top of the list. Meanwhile, here's Sarias. Here's 2 to 4 Sarias, so we're on B-side tiles. They seem kind of really squishy. This seems like a windfall for Demon Frog.
Yeah, Falconic saying jackpot. This is more like the couple $1,000 lottery we win. It's not the $1 million one, but we take that any day. The thing with Sarias is that unless they punch stupidly hard for some reason, which they almost never do, this is a very safe grind in a very safe location. The only scary thing would just be the giants potentially, but at the very least, this is an easy place to hit level 15 across your party, so that way, the waterfall or Oxiel play is very, very safe.
Oh, recently I went through the math of the most lucrative black belt safe B-side tiles. 2 to 4 Saria fell in the lower half of the list.
Just because of EXP?
Just because of EXP. Just the raw amount of EXP you could get. At the top end, with, if all 4 Sarias spawn, how much experience is that compared to, if all of something else spawns? And I'm only looking at fights that have, 1 to 2 sprites or 2 to 4 sprites. Nothing that's, out of the league above black belt.
It looks like it's about 10,000 experience a fight, so that's... for how long it takes to punch down 4. It's a good point.
Also worth noting, and this is something I had wrong for the longest time, Sarias are worth less experience than Agamas.
Oh really? I thought I knew that. Yeah, Sarias are... They're just weaker. They're earlier game, aren't they?
They're later game. They're over near Ordeals.
Oh yeah, I guess so.
Nasir.
But yeah, I mean, regardless of the grind to 42 potential of them. These are a good grind to 21 potential at least. And something that a lot of players have been doing with the black belt comps is like staggering their black belt grind a little bit rather than just like sit on a tile until you're 42. It can be sit on a tile till you're 21 for the early game, and then maybe go to the desert and, you know, polish off that grind.
Yeah. I like the idea of staggering grinds if we find something that's good experience, but like black belt proof. Like if I'm staring at like Nightmare Evil Man and our party is like level 8, that's not something I want to solo just yet. And even when we get up there, like, you know, punching nightmares is kind of ugh. But Saria's, we can take this to 42, so let's go for it.
Yeah. With the early nuke and fast, I think a lower level black belt is definitely a consideration here. Yeah, but we'll see. Once again, it depends on how your execution feels, right? If you feel like your execution is good and that like you can come top half, so even if you play like slightly safer, then maybe just go to 42 anyways. But if you don't, yeah.
Chat seems to be an open rebellion because I gave Saria facts instead of Agama facts. Oh well.
Deal with it. We do not bend to chat's will.
So Hate the 13th is going for a volcano dive as Krellin yanks the chime out of ice, so the optional ice dream is officially dead.
Also Excal +2 and Vorpal +3 in ice. Ice giving the goods, because we all know floaters in Sky, right?
Yeah. Sky always provides.
Sky, not only does Sky always provide, Sky always has the floater. Just checking our definitely not Jat Tracker's notes for level 5 black magic. Yeah, no, or sorry, white magic. No exit. So warp and exit just non-existent in this seed. Okay, cool.
Yep, just perfectly fine. Although that's sad news for everyone that that brings a white mage.
It does make Krellin's ice dive, which of course has the chime as well, really play really nicely because like there's it's about as fast. Assuming this goes okay, it's about as fast as it's gonna be. Don't greed. Don't even think about going down that hole, Krellin.
Yeah, this. There we go.
Good.
Good.
You got everything. Just be happy you got that early chime. That early chime is huge.
Yeah, that early chime gives Krellin the ability to sky, while everyone else probably heads elsewhere, because I see Danny at Ordeals. We ain't gonna find a chime there. I see Hate the 13th and Volcano. We might do an ice dive after this, but I have a feeling that this is a hunt for a tile. Demon Frog, probably gonna head south after this.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
The thing is that like the ice is often a place where if you leave the inner sea and don't have warp and don't have exit and ice, there's other options available, you just don't do ice. The fact that chimes there is huge because people will likely like full clear, you know, the Oxial check, they'll full clear on Waterfall, they'll full clear Ordeals, and Krellin could just find the key in the rod and just be done, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed in a lot of my practices on this flag set that Bonk and White Shirt tend to always be like bottle and slab turn-ins. It's
Loaded
weird.
locked? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been finding that a lot too, especially with an early shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are getting a volcano check from Hate here, but hasn't really found much of anything. Found the tile worth some okay EXP. I would just, you know, fire off well, actually, with only a single black mage, maybe not such okay EXP, but, you know, you can fire off a nuke here and get through it.
Thor, alright, in a party with only one sweeper, Thorhammer is actually kind of a really big find, so that's pretty good.
Danny doing the fight, walking grind, getting level 10. Okay, Demon Frog left on purpose, is coming back for the Sarias.
Yeah, I
two people
imagine
left.
that was a house or a tent or something.
Yeah. I was like, was that a wipe? But no, that was a house and resume grinding, which is reasonable.
We have side by side the difference between the walking grind and the stationary grind. Demon Frog is stationary, but at Saria's, and we're going to be gaining levels at a really good clip. Whereas Danny is just taking every fight that we can lay claim to in ordeals. We're not going to get experience at the same rate, but we're accomplishing dungeons that the black belt's likely going to have to do anyway later.
Already, just like the Chime in Ice is not ideal for Demon Frog, but
Yeah.
not the worst thing either. Like, yeah, this could be okay, and I kind of like, honestly, if I was running this race, I might do something very similar to Demon Frog, just like rely on just going fast, having a black belt, and the black belt makes a very consistent end of the seed, if that makes sense. You know what your rough time is going to be from the time you finish your grind. That's a big benefit.
So Danny gets Bottle out of ordeals, which is a bit of a blimp, but we also get the defense +4, which is real good news.
Yeah, defense +4 plus the Vorpal / Xcal and Ice is kind of... We're a ribbon away from fighters feeling pretty happy about things.
Yep.
No temper either. It does matter for the black belt. Yes, the power bonk is an acceptable alternative, but it prevents your speed and power.
Yeah.
Although with nuke, temper versus nuke, it's not that much worse.
On the earlier fiends, you just want to swing nuke, but as soon as you get Kraken 2, that's kind of where you really want tempers to make a fight over with. Waterfall hands us TNT and a black shirt, so that's not bad.
No, not at all. TNT, I hate it when I get a fetch quest in Waterfall. I just got to know, do I full clear C or not? But the answer here is you full clear C.
You full clear C.
Unhappy
you
about
have to. You just grind your teeth the whole time you're doing it.
Like, because once again, with Krellin's knowledge, it could just be TNT to key to Rod, right? And you're in floaterless go mode.
Yeah. But it could also just be, TNT to white shirt. It's that white shirt that's just always waiting in the wings. Just to be like, surprise! Everything sucks.
Ah, no, the ruby. The ruby's the real... the ruby, man. How many frickin' rubies I picked up in the opposite? Like, if I do C, I pick up the ruby and then the floaters in Sky, or if I do Sky, then the ruby's there, the floaters in C. That is pod flag experience in a nutshell.
Yeah.
It's because Titan's Trove isn't incentivized, right? That ruby can just be a straight up nothing. Yep.
But sometimes you need it to go to Sarda, because Sarda held something that leads to floater, and...
It's like, the classic, like, cube and Sarda from ruby to floater and Sky. As you can see, all roads lead to Sky having the floater. Yep. So there, Rex saying if he's 42, might only need fast. Oh yeah, absolutely. Sorry, when I was saying that temper not being available is a bit of a problem, it's not really a problem, it's just a little bit of a safety loss and a bit of a speed loss for the fighter comps, not the black belt comps. Black belt comps, tempers, whatever.
Yeah. It depends on the weapon we get. Like, if we find a Mazza Plus somewhere, we're gonna really not care about that temper.
Yeah. But swinging Vorpal.
Yeah, if we're swinging a Vorpal needs help. Vorpal needs like a minimum baseline of help to get it into orbit. Part of it's fast, part of it's temper.
Krellin also Hate also making the ice play. So I didn't think I'd see anyone in ice for 40 minutes, but we see 2 people in ice, and this is going to pay off for both of them. So nice pickups. Demon Frog down to a solo. Demon Frog's been on this Saria grind for what? 7-8 minutes at this point, probably.
Quite a long time, and we're 6 hits, so we're not 32 yet. But we're a lot of damage for 6 hits, so we might be close.
Yeah. The nice thing with these Sarias is they're hitting for very, very little.
Ooh, Ribbon and C in that right side chest that I never checked.
Oh yeah, I'd also never do that first, anyways.
Yeah.
But that's a big pickup for Krellin. I wonder if Krellin decides to go with the fighter now, because you have he has Xcal Vorpal Ribbon. Seems good.
The only thing giving me pause is that lack of temper.
But if I had the defense sword, which he doesn't have that knowledge, but like if I had the defense sword, I would just be like, sure.
Maybe it's a risk. It's a big risk, I think, but it's possible. Like, I can see the through path on that.
Yeah. I guess an issue here for the fighter comp is that there's also no life available. Like, life is just... Like, life is level 7-8. Life slot 2 and on rack. Yeah.
second ribbon on Mermaid side C.
Ooh.
Big pickup for Krellin here.
Crabcake saying please for for things. I'm not sure what she's asking for, but Space Drake correctly pointing out double ribbons. Double ribbons is good. Double ribbons is like double rainbows, man. Goes all the way. Yeah, something that I think runners often underestimate is the time difference in a 4-person fight versus, like a 4-enemy group fight versus a 1-enemy group fight. Just how much slower it is, because of how many extra turns the enemies get. Oh, quoting the robot. I did not realize the robot said please.
Yep, the robot says please. Also, we found urban mermaids, so mermaid side first pays off. I think technically, based on chest density, it is slightly more likely for mermaid side to have it than Kraken side.
It is.
But boy, is it out of the way.
I mean, the thing is, if you go Kraken side first and you open all the boxes, you spend an extra minute and a half, right? Or maybe not even that long. Maybe a minute, depending on encounters. If you go mermaid side first and it's not there, you spend an extra 3 minutes and usually get nothing. In this case, you get everything, but
yeah,
the general play is not to do that. Hey, about to pick up everything.
Yeah, my personal favorite is if you feel like you are insanely behind, do mermaid side first as like a Hail Mary to try and pick up time.
I also do mermaid side first if I don't like the levels. Like, you know, if I'm really low level and like I need more nuke charges, for example, I'll go mermaids first as well. And Krellin is a little bit in that shape, but Krellin
is
you know what?
leaving.
We don't need to kill Kraken till later. We're peace, K-peace, bye. We want to go turn in these fetch quests.
I feel like Krellin is my Bizarro World twin because he found the incentive item and that's it. We've accomplished C. We're leaving. I have had many a practice where I go into C, I kill Kraken, I don't find the incentive, and it's just like, well, that was probably everything that was on the list. I'm out.
Yeah. Demon Frog says, the grind is done. We've sat on a tile for like 10 plus minutes.
Yep.
But we about to go fast, and we about to go safe. So, now, Krellin, this is very much the non-floaterless go mode strategy, right? The leaving Kraken behind, leaving Volcano behind when you go to ice. If it's a floaterless go mode, it's going to punish Krellin quite a bit, but if it's just a floater behind TNT or Crystal, leaving Kraken behind is not nearly as big of a time loss, right? Because it's not only the time walking in on-rack, it's also the time sailing all around the world to get there. So yeah, just something to keep in mind. Danny is going to be doing Kraken side first, so we'll lose a little bit of time here, but could pick up a Masa.
Krellin walking past Dwarf Cave. Was TNT not Waterfall?
It was, but he got the crystal from the herb. Little odd, because I feel like you would probably still check the TNT in case it's the key, but he left the ship in the south, so you're pretty much walking no matter what.
This is true. So, Danny and C looking to blow some stuff up, get the herb, finish the on-rack continent off. Demon Frog pulling up to the on-rack continent, seems like a pool party going on. Hate 13 leaving ice, headed for parts unknown. And Krellin on Fetch Quest 2012.
Would you like to do a fetch quest? For white shirt in... Whoa.
Ooh, that was a reset.
Whoa. That's a reset. That's a...
Oh man, that's beautiful. I love it.
That's a long distance reset. Now, the thing I don't like is that he didn't check TNT.
Right. That's the problem.
I like everything else about that. But there could just be a floater in TNT and... Yeah, or a keyed and rod and then Ordeals is not even required and but anyways. Oh, okay.
Is that the third ribbon? All 3 ribbons are in C? Oh my god.
Yeah, you're not skipping a ribbon in this seed, no matter how hard you try. Well, actually, no. The herb's not required.
They were all in the path.
No, but like you could technically go mode C because the herb wasn't required. But yeah,
that's true.
I'm just gonna keep Krellin's Herb and Crystal checked off, because you know what? Yeah.
Yeah. We're not going back for a white shirt. It doesn't matter.
White shirt's not an item.
It's not real.
Do we have stats on Demon Frog's black belt? I want to say it's like low 30s. Is it like
it's gotta
exactly
be low
32?
It might be 32 on the dot. I missed it.
633. I'd say it's like 33, 34, something like that.
Yeah.
33, thank you, Space Drake. Yeah, okay, so I think the 33 black belt, considering the quality of the grind, which is mediocre at best, still very safe, is a very reasonable play, especially with the Oreo, right? Because you have multiple fast casters, you can go nuke fast. And yes, temper is a little bit better sometimes, but like nuke does the job, and it does help a lot on Kraken, on Tia.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like ordinarily, you go to 42, you're just set forever. However, a 32 black belt with 3 nuke casters, like even on Kraken and Tia 2, like our opening turn is just going to be, punch fast nuke into punch nuke until we're just done, and that's like 2 rounds.
There's no third round unless you get like nuked and your mages all die. But if all your mages live, there's no third round. Also, Demon Frog could be running the like mythical 3-ribbon black belt party. So that's pretty good too. I really want to know what the TNT is. Why don't I know what TNT is?
It's fine, we'll get there.
Okay, Krellin picks up the bottle. And this is what I hate, because I really just like,
well, technically that tells us that TNT has to be some... No, because Sky is a thing.
No, Sky is a thing.
Sky is a thing, yeah. So it's TNT or Sky.
Space Break, don't tell me.
Yeah.
The anticipation is killing me.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. This is the only stream that exists. No, it's not. If you're watching from else, or you're trying to figure out what you're watching the Spring Tournament 2021 Last Chance Qualifier. Top 9 of 16 runners is going to make it in. You're seeing 4 of our very best and brightest here trying to make it into the bracket, so that way they get to compete with all of us, Fizzle. So
yeah, it'll be great. Come on in, kids. The water's fine.
If you think the water's fine, speaking of water, come join our Duckling program. Oh, that.
Always.
We have a program set up specifically for new players. If you want to come check it out, please join our Discord. And we have the bootcamp starting on May 10th. 8 weeks of flag sets specifically designed to help you learn this game. Yeah, come check it out. So Demon Frog, a solid dungeon or 2 behind, but 32 black belt. And keep in mind, yes, like Danny's fighter comp can get levels on the way, but taking these fights still takes time, right? Yes, it's less time than just stationary grind, but I would say Demon Frog's in a pretty solid position here to finish top 9. Not necessarily top 1, but top 9 seems very doable here.
I am never going to live down... After this race, I'm never going to live down the fact that I keep telling people not to check that chest on the right before heading down the second side.
I think checking that chest on the right is just not right, but... Results-orientated thinking is going to say otherwise. Krellin, are we checking grinds? I think Krellin's just saying fighter's life.
Yeah.
I think Krellin may have just forgot the TNT. Like, going Sky before TNT seems like insanity, but
I mean, I'm all on the Sky train, but like, fetches are so important in this flag set. So ordinarily, fetches I think are less important because generally you're always like the floater and the canoe away from the air, whereas in this flag set, it's always just the floater before you can get airborne, which I feel like puts a bigger emphasis on doing all the fetch turn-ins as soon as you can.
Okay, interesting. I'm curious if this is like I want some levels before I climb up higher. Like there was like the Mirage check, maybe there's a key item, but nah. Okay, now we're back in the desert.
We're level 14, this is a levels play. I would feel sketch about level 14. Well, especially because we'd have to conserve all our nukes for the Bridge of Destiny, right? And that means we're not going to be able to take any fights on the way up, which is going to leave us... Sky is the best place to get levels. That's why I love it so much. Yeah. And if we can't take any of the trash fights, I get real sad.
Yeah. I was I was curious because of the Mirage dive first, but it looks like it was a Mirage dive into a little level grind into a thing. We have our first fiend. Hello, Kraken.
We're going with defense strats and some nuke strats. We get a nuke for 145. Our black mage is already face down. We might have missed a round. Second defense goes off. Sleep 2, ineffective. Nuke goes out. For 199, nuke goes out. For 150, bad nuke rolls. Kraken 1 only has like 160 MDef. Slow comes out, misses the fighter. Nuke goes out. 226. Kraken 1 down. Didn't even need to swing a sword.
Nuke Calamari, not good.
Don't microwave your seafood, kids.
Do not microwave your seafood, but Demon Frog finds his second ribbon. Yeah, things are happening. Really interesting. If this is, once again, the key or something, and the TNT is just not required, okay, we got a crown.
Oh. Is this
that
yesterday?
Makes it yeah, that's almost the exact same box. Okay. We got a crown. Danny successfully passes the true endgame boss, remembering to go back into C after.
It's true. So, Hate the 13th in the waterfall. Probably going to be in C afterwards. 2 runners in C. 1 on the hunt of Kraken, 1 on the hunt of the herb, and Krellin. We found our incentive item in Sky, and it looks like we're walking it out so that we can house and just storm up the tower.
Well, the crown or TNT are guaranteed to be the floater, right? You could just go turn it in, I guess. You know, and maybe that's the thought process here. I don't love it, but...
Oh, we are leaving. Oh,
yeah.
So... The #1 killer of time and runs is double dips. And I believe this is us setting ourselves up for a second double dip on Krellin's side?
Yep.
Yeah.
But I considered it a double dip the moment he didn't just keep going from, like, greater than less than is high enough up Sky that if you're walking back, it's already a double dip. You know what I mean?
Sure. That's technically true, although I like doing that as a double dip. If only because knowing that I'm clearing to greater than less than and then walking out, regardless of whether or not I find the item I'm looking for, I just do that path, nuke everything along the route.
Yeah.
I'm 6, 7, 8 levels higher, and now I can have fun in Sky.
It's your fighter mindset that's showing.
I know.
Fizzle.
I'm sorry.
It's because you're like, you're not even thinking about steps. You're just thinking, oh, I get EXP, right? And I'm just like doing my walking grind. If the key item happens to be there, then it's safer. Great. I get my levels. Sky is just a bunch of spike tiles in a row, and you only happen to get one every 10 steps.
Old man brain is locked to only one setting. I apologize, viewers.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I walked out of greater than less than, but once again, I've been running like more black belt comps, and even if I don't run a black belt comp, I'll like take my fights outside of Sky until I feel ready that I can nuke my way all the ways up the tower. So,
yep.
But yep, here we go, Krellin. I really want to see him turn in the TNT here, because if he doesn't, I'm getting a little like worried he just forgot it.
So we double fasted the black belt, which is good. 1 fell asleep, 1 went fast. Punch! 13 hits for 546. Kraken is annoyingly still there. Let's try some nuke. How about 128? And a second punch. 9 hits for 485. No more Kraken 1. And we're level 34.
That's pretty good. That's one of the things too with going to 32 on the black belt is the 32 black belt isn't really a 32 black belt unless you're doing the grind like right before you finish the seed. The 32 black belt often will be like a 35 black belt by the time you get to chaos, which makes a big difference in terms of both MDef as well as damage numbers, right?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Crown went to floater because it's Groundhog Day and we all woke up and it was Friday again. Gonna have to apologize to my boss later for not going to work.
I mean, we said it like 1 minute into the seed. The floater is in Sky. And
true.
The floater was in Sky. Yeah, the early ice dive was the way. That is true. That is true. Yeah, that's true. If the TNT is key to Rod, then this is just floaterless go mode too, right? Which I think is actually pretty good for Demon Frog.
Yeah. We're basically missing... wait, no, hang on. I think that TNT has to be Ruby?
What?
Because can the Ruby be floater locked?
Yeah. The Ruby can be Sarda, I think. I mean, also the slab.
Oh yeah, it could be Sarda. That's right, it could be Sarda. Never mind.
Don't quote me on the Ruby can be floater locked, but I know for sure that the slab can just be there. And
Yeah.
No, yeah, Space Tricks. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Ruby can be floated. Yeah.
Okay. It's just something that's never seemed to come up for me. It's always in the way and annoying.
Man, this has been a really interesting. I mean, it's been a little bit hard to follow, to be honest, with 4 runners on screen all doing very different things all the time in different order. It's like, what the heck is going on? But it's been an interesting race for that, and all the runners are actually in like pretty reasonable position, I would say. Like, there's not a clear like this is the best.
Yeah.
Because like Krellin definitely has a exploration lead, but the cost that he's paid to have that exploration lead is huge in terms of going to have to double dip 2 dungeons, right?
Right.
Meanwhile, Demon Frog and Danny both have an orblet. And when they go to Sky, I'm pretty sure they're going to finish Sky.
Yeah.
I mean, Demon for sure. Danny, almost certainly, though maybe she does your play where she gets some EXP boosts and stuff.
I would be shocked if Danny doesn't finish Sky, but yeah, it might take a little bit for us to get there.
Sorry, by not finish Sky, I mean like she might like do Mirage, leave, save, do Mirage 2, leave, save, and then you know what I mean.
So Sarda had Ruby.
Yep.
Yeah.
So hey, Sarda can have Ruby.
Yeah, I know Sarda can have Ruby. I know Sarda can be a jerk.
Time to learn.
I guess that does count as floater lock, doesn't it?
Yep. Right. That's exactly what I thought you meant by floater lock, by the way.
Alright. I meant like slab and bottle turn.
Oh.
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Because I almost never see it as like a slab or a bottle reward.
Oh no, I've been disappointed so many times. Krellin opening Armory, interesting. Masa, I guess.
Yeah, Maza or bust.
I'm surprised the black belt's still alive though for like committing this hard to a fighter comp, but Krellin might just be running a double melee Deng strat, so.
Yeah, it might be something like, so if we get our black belt up to like 25, 26, 27, that's got the relative power output of a same level fighter swinging Maza. So we have 2 fast casters applied to 2 melee targets. If we find a Maza, that'll be 2 melee targets effectively swinging Maza. It could work. If Topher cooperates, that could work absolutely fine.
We get hooray for the 4th time from Danny? So much hooray.
Hooray!
Okay, finally, TNT is Rod. Okay, so required, but we need the key. Key is floater locked. Floater's required. Yep. Hello, Sky. Yes. You know what's not required? The armory, but we're checking it anyways and finding nothing. But 3 ribbons in C, you know.
3 ribbons in C. Yeah. This... What about armor? Have we found any good armor?
We found gold bracelets, as always. They're good enough. No, we haven't really found any, like, actually good fighter armor, but...
Yeah, maybe that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, Demon Frog hasn't done ordeals yet. Like, this is the thing. Demon Frog is a solid, 5-7 minutes behind in terms of exploration.
Right. But we're gonna make that time up on, especially when he goes back to ice. There's gonna be some things that run away from him. We're gonna make that time up with any fiend fight.
Yeah, and the same thing as ice and earth as well when he does that eventually. So yeah.
Yeah.
This bottle could very well be required. This could be the. Actually, this bottle is guaranteed to be required. This has to be bottle to. The bottle has to lead to the key, but it doesn't necessarily lead to the key immediately. There could be a slab in the middle.
Right. Yeah.
Because the key leads to the power bonk, and the slab is somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So this is an all dungeon seed. Welcome. You're now watching Zelda 3. Ice is 100% Ega 1. We don't want to deal with that, but we have to anyways. And yeah, Krellin gonna go clear Volcano while proximity checking it. This checks out. Ooh, how many chests are we opening though? Krellin not happy with the gear and definitely a dangerous play. Opening boxes, dangerous play. You heard it here first, but it really is. Like these are good runners. You when you open boxes, you're giving them an opportunity, right? And every box you open is time.
Yes. That's the thing is you never consider that it's time, but if you consider that every single box especially if you have to like menu around to jiggle stuff around, or whatever, or there's like fights in the way that you have to take. That's adding seconds, and seconds become minutes, and minutes become suddenly you're 10, 20, 30 minutes behind.
Yeah, I mean, one of our new players calculated that he lost like 3 minutes just by not holding a button when he did a map transition, just because of how many map transitions there are. These seconds add up big time over the course of the seed, and that's why like execution advantages are very real.
Yep.
So Demon Frog gonna pick up his required bottle. This is just the full clear simulator .seed. Like, the only thing that wasn't required was Sea Shrine, but Waterfall was required, and there was an early Oxale, which makes it like, how do you not do Sea? The answer is it's like almost impossible. I guess if you do Sky first, yeah, you do Ice to Sky to all the fetch turn-ins to Ordeals. I think it's unlikely. So most people are going to be just full clearing everything here.
Question in chat: does holding the button speed up the transition, or is there something else about that? I don't think it's so much that it speeds up the transition necessarily. It's that, so if you're holding the button, as soon as like the transition finishes, you're on the move. Whereas otherwise, you wait for the transition to finish, and then you wait to recognize that it's finished, and then you see where you're going, and then you hold the input. That might be a second or two, but one of our runners calculated that it cost him literal minutes off of their run.
Yeah, I mean, every single floor, every single time, every single transition. There's probably 100 transitions in the game. That's 2 minutes if you're taking an extra 2 seconds to identify the floor as a duck.
Yeah.
Okay, Krellin, black belt down. Does the black belt stay down? I really say it does at this point. For given 3 ribbons, Vorpal, Xcal, Power Bonk if you want it behind key.
Also,
especially if... Go ahead.
I was going to say, also worth noting, we're doing a Chimera grind. Despite the fact that we find chimeras in, Sky, the happy place, they're frequently just not worth the effort. They've got a lot of offensive power, and they tend to have a lot of health. And the experience reward you get is usually just not worth the investment.
I don't hate this play if this play is just like get a few more levels and then also kill off my black belt. But if we're gonna stay here for like, if it's more than one more up down, I agree with you, Fizzle. Fizzle hating on the stationary grinds even more. If you do a stationary grind, Fizzle coming after you.
Hey, I like the stationary grind, just not that one. I liked the Saria grind earlier. That one was perfectly fine.
Yeah, I think I agree though, because Krellin still has all of Sky to do, and Krellin needs to do Sea again, right? That's like 4 or 5 levels just on a platter, waiting to be taken. Danny in Ice, very logical, very unfortunate.
So we've got 8 to 13th, having fun in Sea. We've got Danny in Ice. We've got Demon Frog leaving Ordeals, probably going to do our on-rack continent fetch turn-ins. And Krellin is about to take on the Fiend of Fire.
So yeah, Demon's going to do his on-rack continent fetch turn-ins and turn into Danny, because it's guaranteed chime in Ice.
Yeah.
So I'd say this is like what Danny and Demon have done is like probably the most prototypical routes for the fighter and black belt comps respectively. Check Earth for the black belt comp, don't check Earth for the fighter comp. Ordeals to Waterfall to Oxyel to fetch his turn into Ice to chime to floater to bottle, and then maybe slab. If you're the fighter comp, you really want the slab to be before the key, because then everyone has to do it, and then you can just like pick up the power bonk for free.
Yep.
If you're the black belt comp, you want it to just be key immediately, and the slab power bonk turn-in can rot forever.
Yep.
Ooh, hate clearing. Okay, so it's interesting. How many chests am I willing to gamble before? Like, how many one-off chests am I willing to gamble to save time? Sometimes it's the one on the right of Sky, or like the first floor C. Sometimes it's, on the TFC floor, you check the one left and the one, like the 2 chests on TFC sometimes, and he's taking 3 chests on TFC. How many chests is it before you just full clear all of TFC?
Yeah, so I like the bottom 3, right? Because the bottom 3, yes, you're taking kind of a wibbly route to get there, but at least you're still basically making progression towards Mermaids itself. It's TFC itself and that north one that I'm just like, eh. But on the other hand, without warp and exit, like, if we just check those first, and our
Yeah.
fetch item is there, we can just skip mermaids entirely and just leave.
Yeah. I usually just, I check 1 or 2 on TFC and then just go to mermaids, but I can see the argument. And also, once again, there is the metagame of do you feel behind? In this case, though, I think you just play the odds always because there's no feeling really too far behind or anything like that. There's mostly just playing as fast as possible because the people you're racing against don't matter as much. You're just trying to get like a pretty good, solid time here.
Yeah, in a group race setting, you always want to play the numbers just to, because if you can at least, even if you feel behind, if you can work up to average, then you're probably still considered quote-unquote winning.
Krellin showing intent here. A, the black belt's dead. B, the fighter just promoted. So fighter strats it is, but I think that makes a lot of sense. Like, we have the tools here for a fighter comp. Danny, probably swearing, picks up the chime in ice.
Yeah.
She's saying, Fizzle told me to go to ice first because I have nuke. Why didn't I go to ice first? Because I have nuke.
It's true.
Yeah, this is true.
All right, here's the $64,000 question. Who do you think is ahead?
I think Krellin and Danny will be the first into Topher. I think Hate is the furthest behind. I think Demon will be in Topher after Krellin and Danny, but will clear it easily. So, yeah, that's my bet. What are your thoughts?
I agree with Krellin being ahead. It is. I am having difficulty determining who is ahead between Hate and Danny. Because there's so many, like, alternate variables.
Yeah. Hate's done Chime. I didn't... Right,
yeah.
I hadn't checked that off. I forgot Hate had done Ice already. Okay, yeah, that does change things a lot. I'm like, Hate's still in C. How is it possible that... Oh, right. Doesn't have the... Like, he gets the much nicer routing to...
Yeah. And Krellin turns in bottle, gets key. So no slab nonsense. Yep. No slab nonsense for us.
Now, the big thing standing between Krellin and success is, do I remember that I have the TNT?
Right.
Because we really, really need to go pick up that rod.
Right.
Classic gamer, if I learned one thing at my job, whenever anyone asks me a question, the right answer is, it depends. You're probably right, and then just nod. Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I took great delight in asking. It's just like, four unhurtable cats have sprinted off in different directions. Which one is the farthest away? And it's just like,
Yeah. Honestly, I would not be surprised at all if Demon Frog just ends up finishing first out of these runners, just because the path to victory is so straight for Demon Frog at this point. But yeah,
right.
Yeah, I would say, though, one thing I will note is all 4 runners on screen right now are going to have a competitive time, I think, for top 9. Like, there's no runner on screen right now where I'm like, ooh, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, they all have things going for them, but they all have weird problems that they're going to have to overcome, right?
Yeah. Krellin's is definitely the weirdest. It's
yeah.
Please remember the TNT exists.
Yeah. Okay, but what about TNT, though?
The good thing about the TNT is, like, unlike this translated slab, you can just check your item menu.
Yes. Alright, Demon on the way to Ice to get Chime. Hate on Bottle Quest, which we know is required because Bottle leads to Key. Krellin has returned to Mirage. We're going to get this Fiend kill. Danny in Mirage probably picked up the crown already. I don't know which floor we're on. Oh, no. About to pick up the crown.
Yeah.
And also going to pick up second orb while we're here.
Yeah, Demon's been, like, exactly 1 dungeon behind Danny for the entirety of the seed, which is just the grind, right?
Yeah.
But one thing that's interesting is I don't feel like he's really made up time. So even though Danny's been taking fights, it doesn't feel like Demon Frog's just been like running from everything, because I think the 32 black belt he's not feeling super comfortable with, so he's still taking some fights, you know, and that takes some time.
Yeah. It's one of those things where, like, you know, you're at the Saria fight for the better part of like 10-15 minutes, and you're not even to 42 yet, and you feel like it doesn't matter, I just have to go. But as you're going, it's just like, I could have been higher. I could have done a little bit more. I could have taken just a couple more levels. Worth noting, I don't think our red mages have access to life, because I saw...
Nope.
I saw a rub land on Danny's black mage, and that was a reset.
Yep. Nope. Life is just not happening here. We got life at level 7, slot 2 in on-rack, which is not the Hail Mary slot, unfortunately.
Right.
It's the Hail Mary and miss slot.
And we've never seen life 2, have we?
Oh, we've never seen life. Life 2 is the
okay.
In on-rack. We haven't seen life though. Oh, sorry. Life is wait. Oh no, that's not learnable. Yeah, life is slot 3 in Melmond.
Oh.
So
well.
Missed it by 1.
Yeah. Oh well. We don't need life.
Yeah.
White magic.
It actually does hurt the fighter comps a little bit.
It
like
does.
the fighter comp wants the mages up quite badly to start fights, right?
Right. Yeah, the fighter comp is going to, I think, live and die on how well it's able to get through Topher. Speaking of living and dying, there's a robot chicken, and we're going to take this fight. Slow 2 misses, fast doesn't. Nuke goes off for 100, swings, 7 hits for 461. That's basically halfway there. Round 2, here's a nuke for 136, here's a swing, 6 hits for 458. Buckets of experience.
I like that fight take by Krellin there.
Yep.
The party was like right at the level where you want a few more levels before Topher, and just nailed it, right? Got those levels.
With our X-Cal is +2, so the golden number we're looking for to get that Knight 2 is 27 to get our 5th hit?
Yep, correct. Yep, 29 plus 2, or, well, minus. Plus sword, minus levels.
Yep.
Yeah, Danny's done with chests. We don't need no Massa. We have our X-Cal Vorpal combination.
Yep. Well, we're still going to take a little bit more of a walking grind. We've got level 1 Fire 3, so Slimes is basically the freest thing we can find in here.
One thing I'm curious is on Danny's side, with no life, do you go do slab to power bonk? I know.
Yes.
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 I agree the answer is yes. The reason is a fewfold. 1, you have no temper, obviously, and then 2, you have the defense. So like fighter man-moding is a very legitimate strategy. If you lose a mage on carry, you lose another mage on crack, and then you lose your last mage on Tia. You know what I mean? Oh, Hate turns in the rod. Come on, Krellin. Turn in the rod. Oh, he's doing the key.
Oh, I believe less.
No. Okay, this is gonna be slab.
Yeah.
He's gonna get the slab to power bonk, which is actually good because he's going all in on the fighter, right? So This is totally fine.
Yeah.
But we need to remember the TNT.
Right.
Oh, are we gonna get the pause menu? The pause think of shame?
No, because we got to do like slab is the thing. Let's just go do it. We'll get that after.
Right. No. After that. No, sorry, that's what I mean. Like after we talk to the Fiend, are we just gonna get the like?
I have a feeling after Bonk we're gonna have a good, hard, long look at our inventory and figure out where we've gone wrong.
Oh yeah, we're sailing right past that TNT.
Yep. Feels bad.
Feels bad, man. Demon doing something I like without access to life, which is picking up gold bracelets on the mages. It actually makes a big difference, especially against like carry punches, right?
Yeah. It'll also help if we can source pro rings. With the gold bracelets rolling vanilla, I feel like that gives us some latitude on where the pro rings rolled. As long as they're not like less than like -2 or -3, we should have okay absorb.
They're -2, so But we have ribbons too, though, which helps survivability quite a bit.
Yeah, that's true.
We have another bridge. Do we get? Nope. We get fire hydrants.
Sure. We got spare nuke charges. Let's go. Last I saw, Danny's party was at 22. How are we doing right now? Probably still 22. How about some more hydrants?
I mean, honestly, if you're going to be casting nuke at something, it's not like the best thing in the world, but it's still fine.
Yeah, it's at this point it's this is our last opportunity to get sky fights before we're just done with the dungeon. So
Yep.
it's now or never.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Danny's party, I think this would be a seed where like 2 or 3 manning the fighter for the last little bit would help quite a bit, because I really would want to hit that Excal Vorpal breakpoint, but
Yeah.
it's not happening with a 4-man. Whoa, Krellin, you want that power bonk? Krellin.
No, we don't.
Or did you wait, did he get Lupud?
No,
Or
it was can't hold power bomb, and we out.
What? Oh, aggressive. Aggressive.
I think this is panic mode. I think we're witnessing the buffering of replaying the seed in our mind, saying what did we do wrong. Because there's two variations of this. Variation number 1 is you stop and you look at your menu. That feels real bad because it's time you spent stopped. The other version is I walk back to my airship going, what did I do? What did I do? Oh my god, what did I do?
Okay, did Krellin wipe in Waterfall or something?
No. I'm gonna go with no.
Okay.
Oh no, we have power. It did loot Power Gauntlet. Alright.
Okay.
I could swear it said can't hold.
I also thought that. Like we both saw that. Okay.
Yeah.
No. This for people in chat who are saying he's going to Waterfall. No, he just didn't kill Kraken when he was there. So
right.
This is totally fine.
Yeah.
Let me update the orbs. Krellin killed Tia. Okay.
Also, while I looked away, Danny killed Tia.
Yes. Danny killed Tia. Defense nukes. Krellin is killing Kraken.
Right.
The big question is, what do you do after that? Because also, has Krellin? No, someone else killed Carrie. A demon killed Carrie. Professional tracking. I got a 10-time raise recently.
Krellin is opening boxes in C. Is this a oops, I forgot the item in C moment?
Uh-oh. Don't do it. You already got the herb.
Meanwhile, the 1 dungeon difference continues. Demon Frog is now in Mirage. Danny is headed elsewhere, probably going to do the crown turn in. Be real mad. Sky.
Danny and Demon, the good thing for both of them is that they just have a clear path to victory.
Yeah.
The bad thing for them is that they're slightly behind in terms of exploration.
Sure, but I feel like both of them have the potential to make up time.
Oh, I agree. Mm-hmm. Krellin didn't full clear Sharknado, so he might have just been checking a few chests that just Masa greeds. That's totally okay. That's not like panic, I don't know what's going on. That's
right.
I want a Masa, I'm going to open 2 boxes on the sea hallway for 2 steps. That's totally fine.
Time for Kraken 1. It's time for Bonk and Fast and Nuke. Nuke goes out. For 193, Fast goes off. Incoming Sleep 2, fall asleep, but we're back awake again. We're just going to ignore the bonk, go for Swing Nuke Nuke. Here we go. Nuke. For 124, incoming melee destroys the Black Mage. Outgoing second nuke. For 156 and a big swing. 5 hits for 466. Down goes Kraken 1.
Okay. Yeah, so something I do want to note is Demon did beat Carrie already. Now, that's not a long, but that is like a minute on Danny, right? So
it is and it isn't, because here's the thing. Danny's getting the airship. Danny's not going to have to canoe to Volcano, so that's going to claw back a little bit of time.
Oh, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, in terms of, like, the whole 1 dungeon behind thing,
right?
He's more like half a dungeon behind, because Volcano's only half a dungeon, but...
Sure.
Yeah. I think he's still going to enter Topher, like, after Danny, but it's relatively close.
Yeah.
You know, some trance airs or something could make a difference.
Hey, it's the Eye. Hello, Eye. Eye has a spell list today. Isn't that adorable? Too bad it starts with Xfer. Free Eye.
Bye.
Oh, well done.
Oh, well, you're welcome. Oh, hey, boxes are bad. It's okay. Hate, gonna keep opening a couple more boxes, but you know, overall, Hate's like party plan is pretty solid here. 3-man activated.
So
Knight doesn't need. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, Demon Frog on the Bridge of Destiny is also taking fights, I noticed. Took our Hydra fight. Oh hey, Slimes had damage poison. Guess they weren't free.
Okay, this is fine. Actually, that's more than fine. Red Mage gets a couple extra levels and on Tia and gets over 400 HP, and who needs Black Mage levels?
It's true. Also, Krellin remembered TNT. Krellin has a rod. Krellin is in go mode.
Krellin, not the worst. We just need to go to Earth. If we...
Yep.
I mean, there could be a Masa here. There also might not be. I mean, okay, I will give them that they don't have armor yet either. And,
Ooh,
that's some armor.
3. We found the armor.
Okay. Cool.
Oh, we had Ice +3. Alright, so we weren't bad off, but Dragon +3 is pretty amazing, so this is good.
Dragon... Yeah. Especially in, like, I can't lose anyone mode, like, no life, right? Like, if this fighter goes down, your run is over, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, Krellin, one orb to go. Danny, 2 orbs to go. I keep lighting the wrong orbs.
So Krellin getting ready to enter his final orb dungeon. Danny going to do her promotion, and then probably just blow up Earth and Volcano after that. Demon exiting Mirage. All he has left to do is Earth, but he has no airship, so we have to paddle there the old-fashioned way. Hate the 13th, also in Sky, is going to have to calmly walk away. Hey, a Katana +4.
Yeah, so Hate... Hey, I can answer your question now, Fizzle.
Yeah.
Hate definitively a little bit behind. Krellin's going to be the first in Topher, kind of as expected. Danny and Demon are going to be like a minute apart on Topher entries. And we'll see if Execution / Black Belt's advantage will change anything in that equation. I would guess Danny still finishes first, assuming no disasters, but like, if it's Lich with Nuke, I would much rather be Demon Frog.
Yeah, I'd go for that.
Because, like, Demon Frog doesn't have to promote, right? So he saves on that, saves on Volcano. It's pretty close. Yeah, Krellin, though, playing a very solid seed here. I like the levels. I like pretty much everything for Krellin. It's looking good. I guess we are an hour and 10 minutes in. This time has gone by very fast. I felt like it was faster, but maybe the seed was, I mean, obviously in full clear simulator with the floater and Sky, it is just going to be a slightly slower seed.
Yeah. I mean, it also feels faster because we saw all of the seed at the same time because everyone picked a different quarter to look at.
That's true. Yeah, my brain has been going whir for a while, trying to like, I only have 2 eyes. They're just like whoosh. As much as I would love it to be,
that is Red Mage learnable.
That is a nice pickup, actually. As much as I would love it to be the case, being 4 eyes with glasses does not let you watch 4 screens more easily.
It's true.
Chadbert making a reasonable assumption here. The ninja with white mage magic could have been tempting enough for someone to pick it up, and that Katana +4 could be a pretty big pickup for them. Like, that's a vastly superior endgame damage dealer to the fighter with the Vorpal.
Yeah.
Not in terms of raw damage, yeah. And also keep in mind this none of these fighters have hit the 27 breakpoint, but all of the ninjas are going to have 5 or 6 swings.
Right. But they're also ninjas, which is a problem.
Oh no, Krellin going for the white shirt. Actually, I guess I don't hate this. It gives the black belt something to do.
Right, it gives the black belt something to do, and here's the thing. On fights where we want that knight to be evade capped, if we use defense in concert with a white shirt, that's evasion cap in 2 rounds instead of 3. Because, like, I love white shirt as a support for other evasion sources. I hate it by itself, but it's a great booster.
Yeah, especially for a melee. Like, I use it all the time when I bring a thief. Like, the thief just sits there, or like on like drafted parties when you have 2 black belts or some other garbage like that.
Right.
Okay, Danny, decision time. If Danny goes, Danny does the power bonk turn, and that could be another opportunity for Demon Frog also to potentially enter Topher first.
I think with the 3 temper casters, I think we might be leaving bonk on the ground and just going for it.
I think that's reasonable with defense as well, and yeah.
We're gonna have to really manage tempers in Topher though. That's gonna be the problem.
I mean, it's not that hard to manage like with this many nukes, managing tempers in Topher isn't that hard. It's like 1 or 2 on Tia, and then all the rest on Chaos, right? I think Microwave Calamari is the go-to plan here. Fast
Right.
nuke.
So at 112.26, Krellin is our first runner in Topher. Let's see what nightmare will befall us. Topher, as always, is the great equalizer.
Okay, Hate picking up his floater. Demon about to light his last orb. Still does need to do the key turn in though.
Right. Hate the 13th on the way to get the airship. Danny about to explode a carry 1.
Did Krellin reset out of Topher?
I think maybe. I missed what would have done it.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he did. Maybe just like a Black Mage got punched or something.
Yeah, it was a first floor reset, I know that much.
Yeah, I mean, relatively minor.
Yeah.
Okay, so chat saying that Krellin's Knight hit 27, so Krellin very on top of the breakpoints. Like, I think taking a fight or two in Topher is a very good idea.
Oh, chat commenting it was pack of slimes, poison damage. Question in chat, so how does the play-in race work exactly? We have 16 runners right now, made up of people that went 1 and 2 that did not get through last night, and the 0 and 3s. All the ones who could make it today to this race showed up, and we're racing. Of the 16 people that are racing, the top 9 will advance to the bracket. And whenever runners finish off-stream, we're going to keep that knowledge to ourselves until one of our on-stream runners finish, and then we can place them relative to whoever else has finished.
Okay, so Chadbert saying poison damage from slimes is what got Krellin on the first time, and that checks out.
Yeah. Three ribbons is nice. 3 ribbons is not nice when you're staring down 7 poison damage casters.
So yeah, I think I was wrong. I think Demon is going to be in Topher just before Danny. I think promoting and all that definitely took up a little bit of time. But it should still be...
It'll be close.
It's still a minute. I think Demon Frog is actually now ahead probably by a minute, because he just needs to get the key here, right? And he's good to go.
Right.
Any advantage to finishing early, like 1-2? The answer for this race is no, because the top seeds are going to be seeded randomly. So all of the runners who win here are going to be facing 3-0 runners. In the last race, though, if you finish in the top 5, you'd be seeded against 2-1 runners instead of 3-0 runners, which is hypothetically an advantage, but I've seen the 2-1 class
advantage.
Yeah. The seeding is a little bit all over the place.
Yeah. So, Krellin pulling up to the first real boss of Topher. It's time for carry 2. I saw White Shirt, I saw Fast, I saw Temper. Temper goes off. Early test win, 4 hits for 550, that's some damage. Fast goes off after the nick of time. Here comes Zap, no more Black Belt, no more Red Mage. Oh, we're already down to 2 party members and we don't have life. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. That's really scary. Whoa!
Oh, Black Mage survives the fight with a whole hit point.
That Zap is... Actually, that Zap shouldn't be that scary for runners. We have 3 ribbons. But evidently it is... Oh, checking the ribbon count, realizing...
How many ribbons do I have again? What was that?
Yeah, but that was an early temper charge usage, I think, by Krellin, but it did pay off there. But this is going to make the rest of the fights a little sketchy. This could be a very man-mody fighter.
So when I'm seeing nuke casts on Waterfloor Trash, and what that tells me is that we want to take advantage of our 2-man situation to try and pad on just a little bit more attack power and health on this knight.
I think it might also just be that running is kind of scary too. it might be a split strategy. So,
Mhm.
anyways, Demon Frog in Topher. Danny 1 floor away. So yeah, pretty close between these runners.
Yep.
That carry though definitely could give some runners some problems here.
Time.
Hate. Oh, go ahead.
Ooh, Kraken 2 time, and opening with a nuke, that's bad news, but we're going for white shirt defense strats. We gotta get evasion capped ASAP. One more round will get us there, but we're switching over to offensive stats. Incoming punch, 1 hit, 9 damage. Alright, maybe we can just leave the evasion on the ground. Fast and bonk go off. Time for swing, time for more temper. Temper goes off first. Big swing. 7 hits, 1,177 damage. No more Kraken 2. Both party members survive.
Krellin getting very, very, very good rolls twice now. Nuke, and that nuke roll low, like that nuke rolled very low, and then the Black Mage surviving. And this Black Mage surviving is massive for this
Yes.
dive, right? Like,
Yeah.
the difference between a fasted knight with defense and a non-fasted knight with defense on Tia and Chaos is huge. Also,
Yeah.
picking up that dragon armor in the Dwarven Armory really paying off there, right? You saw that Kraken punch.
Mm-hmm. Time for
Do much
Tia
of
2.
nothing.
Time for bonk, time for fast. Fast goes off first. Punch straight to the Black Mage. Black Mage still up with 21 health. Bonk goes off. Time for swing. What are we doing? Are we going to temper? Are we going to lock? We're going to preemptive lock too? No, we're not. Tia gets there first. It's just the knight. Hits for 370. Fire 3 incoming. Does fire 3 things. 7 hits, 279. This is going to be a bit of a grind. 4 hits for 147 out of Tia. Outgoing. 9 hits for 477. We're probably going to get there, but how much healing do we have left? 9 hits for 741. We're through to Chaos, but at what cost?
Once again, remember, we've been talking about this for a while, but the Mad Mode fighter strats with the defense sword is very real. Now, we don't have the power gauntlet here. We were talking about that as a potential consideration. But
he's got power gauntlet.
Oh no, he did, right? This was
Yeah.
not the He has the Mad Mode. Oh wow, this is really the Mad. This is basically the perfect fighter.
Ooh, no shifting of the position. Defense goes off. Incoming fire 2 does fire 2 things. Blaze doesn't do much because LOL Ribbon, second defense. Do we get the third defense? We do. Incoming Thunder does LOL damage. Time to stack up some power. Power goes off. Nuke! Oh god, Chaos has a nuke. Only hits for 151, but any nuke damage is bad. A punch misses. We are continuing to bonk. There's a nuclear. Chaos is not messing around today. Let's try a test swing. 5 hits for 305. We need more than that. Bane, ineffective. Ice 3, only 57. We're down to under 200. 5 hits for 658. We're making progress. Rub, ineffective. Swing. 3 hits for 134. That's the wrong direction. We need more than that. 3 hits for 135. Uh-oh, stop. Ineffective. We're going through this spell list, and it's only a matter of time before we hit the bad things again. 5 for 300. Not good enough. Let's swing again. 5 hits for 340. Ink does ink things. We're back to fire 3. We're down on one knee. 5 hits for 248. Chaos continues to still be there. 5 hits for 422. There's a crit. There's not a terminated. Ice 2 and Fire 2, not enough to take us down, but 4 hits for 311. Krellin takes down Chaos.
Oh boy!
Oh man. Krellin finishes with official race time GG time of 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 55 seconds. That's good enough for first on stream. That's good enough for first in the race.
Yeah, Krellin. Oh boy. That low-ish nuke roll, and then a low-ish nuclear roll, that was very, very touch and go. But I like the power bonk defense mixture and swings. I think, he did everything he could there and got there. But that's a very scary Chaos. That could give some other runners some problems, potentially.
Falconic and Jack, Krellin went ice early, deserves to win. I mean, I ain't saying that.
Yeah, Space Drake kind of saying what would be expected, which is that turns out nuke is bad news, and Krellin got the only like slightly bad news nuke. That's like a 30-second nuke rather than like the full 2 minutes where you're like you can't touch the bowl. Demon Frog onto Tia, Danny onto Carry. Kind of as expected, these runners, a floor apart. But
right,
Demon Frog did enter first.
I'm gonna see if I can get Krellin in here for an interview.
And I believe we are joined here by Krellin. GG's Krellin. I did just drag him in, so maybe he may not be quite ready, but...
Hello.
Hello.
We will get to you in a second, because Demon Frog is on to Chaos here.
Yep.
And we saw that Chaos is packing some punch, so... this is a 3-person party up with a black belt, though, so in very solid position. Going white shirt strats, not going with fast or temper on that black mage, but maybe just doesn't have the cast of it. This red mage does have cast. Chaos punches pretty hard, because remember, Demon Frog picked up gold bracelets. Defense sword does go off, though. 3 stacks of evasion on the black belt. I think it's swing time, yep. And we're going nuke and swing, so no temper charges, but I mean, don't really need it with a black belt here. 6 hits, 6 hits, 391 damage, and the nuke is coming. Fire 2, so nuke the next spell, and also a nuclear waiting in the wings. I believe nuclear is the first skill, but then after that you get a little bit of a reprise. Okay, nuke comes out, tiny little roll on the black belt. That's huge. 15 hits though, 600, 700 damage done. That's a big swing. Over half of Chaos's HP gone now. 1 or 2 more swings should do it. Needs this black belt to stay up. Okay, Chaos at over vanilla HP now. Black belt swing. 13 hits, 516, and Demon Frog takes out Chaos, coming in 3rd place overall with an official race time.gg time of 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 49 seconds. So we have 2 qualifiers on the Randomania 3 stream. Thanks for hanging out with us here on Randomania 3 while we watch our last 2 runners go at it.
See if I can get Dem Xeron for Xerog in here real quick. Hey, GG Demon.
Hey, what's up?
GG, good race.
Man, 1st place overall, that's awesome.
That's a first for me.
Yeah, well done, dude.
I don't understand why I am such a magnet for nuclear energy, but I'm really kind of tired of it.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have one question for you, Krellin. How about that TNT? What was going on there?
I'd forgotten about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I knew it was there, and it's like, okay, I needed the power bunk. That is, I wasn't sure if it was the rod or the power bunk, but I knew I wanted both. So it didn't really 100% matter to me. I knew, especially not seeing anybody .gg at like an hour and 10, an hour and 15. I'm like, okay, someone's probably ahead of me, and they've hit something awful. I knew where the white shirt was. I knew I wanted to go pick that up, and at least, a couple of them was going to be a huge help for a little bit of avoidance. Every single thing was going to help. And gosh, that zap sucked. But
your black mage did its absolute best to survive through everything, though. So, Danny onto Tia here, though. 2 manning up, no life available, of course. Only 1 cast of fast left, so trying to save that up. Danny does not have the power gauntlet, right? So this is a little bit scary. But this can happen, but we just need to stay safe here. Going with the lock strats. Tiamat missing, which is excellent. Defense doing its work. Fighter in slot 1 needs those swings to keep going on to that knight. Tiamat continues to miss. Okay, doing some damage. This isn't going to be fast, but this will work.
Mm-hmm.
And down goes Tia. So Danny on to soon-to-be Chaos. Demon Frog, it sounded like you were kind of the person who I felt had the most, linear, solid, going from A to B to C to D to E with, limited issues, and then the only reason you had a little bit of a slower time was just because your black belt grind took some time. But, was that kind of your thought all along that, I don't need to come first, so I'm just going to play it a little safer with that black belt grind?
Yeah, that's kind of it, and that was pretty low on, it's 2 to 4 Saria, but it's not great. That's why I went to 32 instead of 42, because it's I'm looking at the timer going, okay, I can't sit here until 42. I gotta go. And it just so happened that, golds rolled neutral, which is fine. Ribbon for everybody. Okay, you can just be okay with a ribbon on the black belt with the gold and the pro rings and just call it a day.
For sure, we'll get right back to you as Fizzle's going to take Danny's fight.
So we open with fast and we open with defense. Chaos tried to take down the red mage first, got it down to 14 health, but the fast went off. Another swing, 2 hits to 225. We're down to 1v1. 3 defense stacks go off, and we're up at 500 health. 4 stacks of defense go off. We're at 500 health. Let's try a test swing. 8 hits for 308. Doing good so far. Fire 2. Doing Fire 2 things. Incoming punch misses. Vorpal swing. 8 hits for 388. The nuke comes in. Only 206 damage. Looking good for 8. Looking good for us. 8 hits 261 going out. 8 hits 309 going out. Incoming punch misses. Let's try another swing. 8 hits for 270. We're doing good so far. We dodged the Bane. Ice 3, only doing 36 damage. Still above 200 health. 8 hits for 169. Vorpal doing Vorpal things. 8 hits for 475. That seems better. We dodged the rub. One more swing. 8 hits for 381. Chaos still there. We dodged the stop. One more swing. 8 hits for 141. Chaos still there. Come on, Vorpal. Come on, Danny. You can do it. Fire 3 doing Fire 3 things, but 8 hits for 202. Down goes Chaos. Danny finishes with an official race time GG time of 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 33 seconds. That is good enough for 4th place.
So our stream blessed 3 of the top 4 finishers.
Yep.
You saw it here, but
fourth.
we have been hearing in chat that some of the other runners had good runs until Topher said no. Topher, the great equalizer, and we did see the skills and spells to do it, right? Nuke on Kraken with no life, and then nuke again on Chaos and Nuclear. Little bit. All 3 of our finishers so far had like nuke rolls under 300, and that is that helps. It's not unlikely, but if it goes the other way, it can be ugly, right?
Yeah.
All 3 looked like we skated by. I'm Kraken. She got me down to one knee. I saw Krellin skate by. Danny skated by. So it seems like a little bit of a slot machine Topher.
And we are joined by our 4th place overall and qualifying, Danny. GG's.
Thank you. Can I breathe now? Because I'm pretty sure I stopped at some point during Kraken 2.
You can breathe now. There's end credits. We don't have to worry.
Okay. Oh. With Carrie opened my zap. I got Carrie 2. I got real scared, and then I remembered I got 3 ribbons. But I was real glad that Black Mage made it through, and then Kraken knocked me down to 2, and I was like, oh no. And I doubled down on the oh no when I realized that red mage that lived did not have timber. Oh boy.
Yeah, Krellin had the advantage of having he went out of the way to pick up the power bonk, which definitely made it safer. But he was mad mode on Chaos, so you had fast at least, but he had the defense power bonk combo, which kind of ended up being roughly equal. You guys took about the same number of turns, but defense started putting in some serious work on this stream.
I thought about it, but I knew it was going to be Slab and Canaria / turn into Bonk, and I have felt behind since I wiped going to Garland. So I was just like, I ain't got time for that. I gotta go.
So all 4 runners on stream wiped to heat.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Oh yeah. I was about to say high five because something got me in a couple of veins.
Yeah, it was. I don't remember what it was, zombie something, but they had it, and from that minute, from that on, I have felt behind this whole time. The only thing that I was kind of even remotely happy about was just I was like, I've got the crown because I went everywhere else, right? And I got the crown, and I just went, I need this to be the floater. Please let this be the floater. And it was, and I did a bit of a happy dance.
It was guaranteed to lead to the floater. It just might not have been it immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was another Danny seed for a second. It's like, holy crap, didn't we just have the crown last time that led to the floater for last night? And it was the exact same thing. I'm like,
we commented about that. It's just like, oh hey, early ice was the thing. Oh hey, floater was in sky. What day is it?
Yeah. I knew when I had shipped Canal and the only place left was ice that I wasn't doing ice. I was headed to Ordeals because I had Oxyel. And normally, doing C, I'm perfectly normally fine with doing the levels I had, but this time, Magic, didn't have much of it. And normally I just take fights through there and get levels, and it's fine. And I went in there and I found the one type of the zombie Ds and had a ton of Fire 3. And it's like, we're just going to sit here for a minute and get a couple levels because I don't want to die to Kraken.
So 1 second. Hate on Kraken, not casting Nuke though with his Black Mage. just about to start doing it, but yeah, that Black Mage is down, and this is a man-moding fighter, and this fighter has neither of the advantages, I believe, that your party's had. So no fast, and no power bonk. So this is...
Oh no.
It's gonna be scary. Chaos... Yeah.
I almost walked by defense because what was it? Mummies had rub, and I was like, I need to get out of here, and I almost orphaned those 3 chests just to try and get out quicker, and I'm so glad I didn't.
Oh no.
Where was the defense sword? I know I got it. I just don't remember. where.
Ordeals.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, hate solo fighter with the defense sword with good weapons. About to pull Tia, and I will say we do not yet have 9 finishers. So hate's still in it. We could have 4 qualifiers on our stream here tonight. But first have to get away from some sorcerers. Oh, are we gonna swing at each of these individually?
Oh, that. I mean, some of them are running, which is nice, but run chance for an above 20s fighter is nothing to sneeze at.
I guess maybe thinking I could use the extra 30 HP.
Sure. I mean, at this point,
Also-
we'll take any advantage we can get.
Depends on what level this fighter is too. Oh, we do have 5
27.
swings. Yeah, we're good.
I wouldn't have minded being a little bit higher level. I took that Warmac fight, and I was like, would have wish I ran into him a couple more times.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay, armor
Oh.
paying off. Oh, come on.
Please run.
Please.
Fight, please. There we go.
Oh, okay. We have heal pots too. Hate
Yeah.
did prepare well from a heal pot perspective. Get turn order. Good. Get turn order again. Missed anyways. Good.
Okay, evasion capped. We're good.
Excal on Tia. Still fine.
Perfectly fine.
Damage.
2 for
Perfectly
4.
fine.
Yeah, we can probably make it through this fight unless we see something stupid. 4 hits for 164, it's fine.
Tia doing Tia 1 things.
Yeah, 3 hits for 245, sure. 4 hits for 159, sure. Nothing scary in the spell list so far. 3 hits 78, ugh. Come on, put your back into it. 3 hits for 247, there we go. Tia 2 down, we're on to chaos. This would be the time to flip over to Vorpal and to move down to the 3rd or 4th slot
Yeah.
to hope
Hey,
for RNG loop.
Oh, hate needs to switch to the Vorpal here, unfortunately. Like, it does feel like the Vorpal without Power Bonk is worse, but the crit is massive here. Now, Xcal +2 isn't terrible at least, but
It's a little terrible because we no longer have the power bonus from elemental everything.
hey, remember when I said all the runners that we saw on stream got like really good nuke rolls?
Yeah.
That wasn't a really good nuke roll. That was like almost max.
We're getting
Okay,
a
he
lot
did
of
switch to
melee.
Vorpal.
Okay.
He did switch to Vorpal.
Oh.
You just dive again. You got
Just
nothing.
Go
You
right
got-
back in.
He does have life, eh? On his white mage.
Yes, but the white mage went down during a fiend fight.
Oh yeah, I just want to say that like the white mage is available here. It like on the Kraken fight, he moved the white mage into slot 2,
Right.
and it got punched. But
Right.
this is the only runner on stream that has that white mage, which makes, as long as it survives the nuke on Kraken, you can bring back up, which is important.
Yeah.
Was there any better grind than the Sorias anywhere that if you needed to get levels, you could get them quick, or was that kind
I
of the
think
best?
you were the only
No,
one that
so-
looked for a grind.
Yeah,
I was
okay.
searching. I just couldn't find squat. I ended up taking chimeras.
yeah. All of our runners just ran their fighter comp because the Vorpal and Xcal were guaranteed, and also 3 ribbons and C. You know,
Yeah.
doing 3 ribbons and C things.
Yeah.
Experience was scarce.
Yeah, I think some runners, like Danny, was in pretty good EXP shape, just taking fights along the way. Some people did a quick desert grind, just a few levels. Some people did extra fights in Sky. I think there was some ways to get some levels, but no like EXP pinata just waiting there for you for sure.
Yep,
Right.
that's why I sacked my black belt.
Yep.
It always feels bad, like, oh, 2 to 4 stories is okay, and then oh yeah, no, 3i was totally in volcano.
Oh no, those slimes.
Yeah, those slimes giving a little scare, but does get away. We still do not have a 9th place finisher.
I
Oh,
believe.
boy.
We're through the dangerous poison slime floors. Now we just need to carry this white mage the distance.
Because the white mage isn't doing anything but casting life, but turns out casting life is pretty important.
Yep. I mean, we've also got that we got that black belt on the floor. We can bring it up, use it as an ablative meat shield.
Yeah. Like, life was hard to get for the red mages, but level 5 life, this white mage is a little bit low level, but should have at least 3 casts of it.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, 379 HP? Never mind, it should have like 4 casts of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, life, that'd have been nice to have.
Yeah.
We don't need no white mages.
Darn straight.
This was the red mage was a black mage seed, where
Yeah.
like, it was a pretty good black mage, but it was still just a black mage.
I think I only got 1 spell above level 2.
I mean, you can tell where Nuke is.
Yeah. All right, rounding the corner to speed bump Mark 2. Let's go. Let's.
Yeah.
All right.
The
Stop
story
and heal. Yeah.
The story of this Topher is 2 scary fights. Nuke on Kraken and doesn't take down your mages, and then Nuke Nuclear on Chaos and doesn't take down your party. That is the gauntlet that is presented to you.
hmm Hey, more poison damage. I love the Harm 2 cast on Lich 2. It warms my heart. It's like maximum disrespect. And we're through.
Yeah, I'll let out a breath once the fish goes down.
Yeah. Wait, what? Oh, did we misstep? Oh no.
Oh, we're farming Lich for levels. Let's go.
Heck yeah, this is how you do it. 5 hits 502. For the second fight in a row, Fast goes off after the nick of time. And down goes Speed Bump Mark 3? I guess that's what we're on.
The
Now, I
ultimate
will-
disrespect to Lich is fighting him twice. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Maybe
Nah,
you really,
I-
really hated him.
I will say those were 2 fast charges that are also nuke charges that you don't love to waste. So that is a resource burn that you don't really want to see, but still in okay shape. Once again,
Yeah.
level 2 fast is pretty good. Here we go. On to carry. White shirt strats, fast strats. Oh, this could do it. This could be a one-shot.
Yep.
Yup.
Yeah, we've decided that we're very angry now that we've killed 2 Lich 2s. So now Fast is going to land in the proper turn order, and we're just going to destroy some fiends real quick.
He escaped that zap too.
Mm-hmm.
Which probably got ribbon, so
Yeah, didn't you get zapped through a ribbon?
yep, I think so.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, this is the big fish. What is the plan? Ooh, fighter in slot 1. I don't mind it. Because the thing is, you're not getting through chaos without your mages up.
Right.
And your fighter has a pretty decent chance of surviving a punch if you get like any sort of turn order.
Right. So it looks like we're going with fast and evasion strats. Defense goes off, white shirt goes off. Fighter is at 3 stacks of 6, rest of the party at 1 stack of 6. Incoming crack does nothing, yay ribbons. We can do some more white shirt strats, and a Bane shot. White shirt goes off. Party is at 4 and 2 respectively. Bane does nothing, swing. 9 hits for 641. Kraken's still there. Kraken misses on the counterattack, even on only 4 evasion charges. That seems pretty good. Doesn't miss the Black Mage, but the Black Mage is still there. Big swing.
Should do it.
9 hits, 994. We got a party through Kraken 2. Let's go!
No nuke by Kraken, right? That's huge.
Yeah.
And he was there for a few rounds, right? That was like a 4-round Kraken fight.
Yeah. Time for Tia 2, which was, as I recall, Tia 2 wasn't a danger, it was just a slog.
Yeah, this is a wet noodle fight.
Yeah.
But the Exhale will get it done. We get fast off as well. Yeah, so I noticed that Hate had exactly one fast cast left. So definitely is managing. A little unfortunate that he burned an extra one on Lich, but the fight where you wanted it more was like to be able to nuke Kraken once, just to try and not get the nuke to come out. But at this point, it's looking okay for here. Oh, it is going to use a Temper, but I think that's reasonable.
I don't hate that here. That'll get us through this fight a little faster. Temper goes off. Lit 2 does Lit 2 things. Swing. 8 hits for 396. Not bad. White shirt goes off. More Lit 2. Second burst, same as the first. LOL Black Mage damage for 1. 9 hits for 410. Tia is still there. I like swapping to the Ice Shirt for chip damage, but we don't need it. 6 hits for 232. We are taking a party to chaos.
I like the respect that Hate showed there. That was like, respecting Tia. Yes, we've seen a lot of its grips and spells, but we haven't seen all of it for sure, right? So you never know what's hiding, and doing some chip damage with ice, extra White Shirt cast just so your White Mage doesn't get one shot with like 2 fluky crits through evasion. 4 stacks, 5 stacks is better. But Knight staying in slot 1.
Let's go for it. Speed and power. Let's do this. Defense goes off. White shirt goes off. We're getting evasion stacks first. We're going to try and dodge tank the first slot and hope that Chaos doesn't punch elsewhere. Chaos obliges. Punch and miss. Fast goes off. Time for temper.
When you're scared of nuclear, keeping the Knight up top and only using 1 defense actually checks out pretty well, right?
Yeah, because we gotta get damage going as fast as possible. 10 hits for 256 is not great. We've got 2 more Tempers. Let's see if we can get them out while the Black Mage is still up. 9 hits for 166, not great. Temper goes off. Nuke. Who survives? Not the Black Mage. White Shirt goes off. Let's see how many Cure 4 charges we got. Next round fight, and Cure 4 on the Knight. Cure 4 goes off. We've topped off the Knight's health. Swing goes out. 10 hits for 310. Punch misses. Swing at another Cure 4 on the White Mage this time. Bane, ineffective. Looks like we're going to get away with full healing this party. 524 damage going out. Where are we going? We're going to flip to Fade stats. We don't need these Cure 4s anymore. We're done with this fight. Fade for 101. Swing, 10 hits for 385. Chaos is still there, but I suspect for not much longer. Swing goes out. 10 hits for 394. And a Fade. 158. Not quite enough. Ice 3 doing Ice 3 things. Double fight. First goes the one that matters. 10 hits for 858. Down goes Chaos. Hate 13 finishes with official race time GG time of 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 10 seconds, and that is good enough for 9th place. The last one to squeak through. All 4 runners tonight on Randomania 3 have qualified.
This is the blessed stream.
Yep.
Oh boy, and
all around in the broadcast booth. Good job.
GG's Hate. That was very, very scary, but excellent composure to get through that second Topher dive. And I felt like you made good adjustments. Grinding Lich for extra EXP, I dug that.
I totally meant to do that.
No, but like in all seriousness, I actually thought you made really nice adjustments, keeping the fighter up front for Tia, defensing once on Chaos instead of twice, using White Shirts, using Fast, using Temper. Really, really nicely done to get through that second time, and you made the adjustments you needed to do and got through and squeaked into brackets, so GG's.
Thank you. I am just glad that Kraken actually didn't body my White Mage that second time around.
Yeah. We did see that.
I was just waiting for it.
The first time you put your White Mage in slot 2, what were you doing some mind games, or was it just that you thought the Black Mage was way more important?
That was because I was healing, and I hate going to that third slot when I'm pouring healing potions on people, because I tend to miss a lot, and I want to move her back.
Okay, so it wasn't like a strategic decision, it was just like right before the fight, you're just like, oh, oops. Yeah, ouch.
Yep, pretty much. And honestly, I'm surprised I made it in, given how much I screwed up at the beginning of this seed. That was just like that was a pile of hot garbage at the beginning for me.
Hey, listen, it's like you sound like my inner monologue. I'm surprised I would have given all the crap I did that messed up. Awesome.
And yeah, GG's to everyone, especially Krellin for coming in first, man. That was I saw that first dot done and I was like, oh crap.
Uh-huh.
So Lord Fizzlebeef, do you have any questions for any of our runners here after that? A very nail-biting, the last chance qualifier really giving us all of its best foot.
Yeah, Danny and Demon, on the back of 3 black casters, why no early ice?
Just kind of the way things went. I went to look for a grinded earth and found it, and then was like, all right, well, I have my levels, I have Oxyale, and it just kind of drew me to the South Continent to just go that way.
Kind of the same. I got Chip Canal. I didn't need ice at the time, and if I've got those and then I get Oxyale, like no, like I'm booking it out of the NRC and I'm headed to Ordeals.
All right, and Hate the 13th and Krellin, same question for you, but I'll listen to Krellin's answer first. Talk to me about fighter black belt comps.
Well, for me, it's one. It had a little bit of extra luck on the black belt. I was like, I did not want to take a thief. The plus to magic just wasn't great, and it turned out a good move because there was just nothing. I mean, sure, I found that +5 katana later on, but that was kind of useless by then. It's more like a backup. If I don't find a weapon, I can kill one of them all. If I find a weapon, I can keep the fighter. If I don't find anything, or if I find a super great grind spot, then I can just down the fighter and get the black belt up, and then one punch my way through. It's kind of like a safety strat.
Yeah, Hate the 13th, same question.
It's pretty much the same answer. It was I was considering doing black belt thief strats because I've been practicing on that, and killing the thief off if I find something for the black belt to grind on, or killing the black belt off if I find a good weapon for the thief. And this time I just swapped out the fighter for the thief because a little bit more safety on that. And yeah, obviously I didn't find a good grind tile in time, so it's like, all right, black belt, you get to very closely examine the floor for the rest of this run.
And a question for all our runners, but I'll start with Krellin. Looking at the blursings for our available characters, the only one that really stood out as being something kind of off the wall is Thieves with level 1 white magic, and I noticed that no one on stream took a Thief. What kind of blursing would you be looking for to maybe point you in the direction of a Thief?
If it had ninja spells, if it had black mage spells, even like white mage spells, because anything that's going to make a thief more useful, or if it has like a super huge boost of luck, because then it's like that thief is going to get me out of fights, it's going to get me to where I needed to go, because my whole goal this race was to keep moving. I didn't think the thief was going to allow me to do that this time. And I was going to count on my black mage to try and get me out of those fights. And I think, it worked, kind of. I won, but I wasn't super efficient. I don't know.
Demon, same question.
Yeah, kind of the same thing. It would need black magic of some kind. Black belt rolled with plus luck. So I'm like, okay, I got a black belt with plus luck and 2 black mages. That's going to be good enough for running. And just level 1 white just isn't good enough for a thief, at least yet. We'll see when we get to the brackets where we start mixing in some more blurses and curses and all kinds of fun stuff, and monster in a box. So that might tilt it a little more towards the thief. But yeah, it needs black magic or something a little. Level 1 white magic just isn't good enough to justify something that I was going to probably put down in the first 20 minutes.
Danny, same question.
Yeah, I saw the level 1 white magic and I'm like, no thanks. If my red mages can't learn it, I'm not getting it. And kind of same, but even ninja spells, I don't think I'm gonna take it because I got a red mage, 2 of them, that's gonna learn ninja spells. It's fine. So like maybe all of black mage like spells or something, I don't know, but it was not happening today.
TLDR, Danny, I'm not taking anything other than red mage, black mage.
I mean, basically, I like that party, and it takes a lot to sway me not to take it. And the only time so far in this tournament that has happened is when I got a black belt with all black mage spells, and I took it, but I didn't like it.
And Hate the 13th, same question.
If it's got black mage or white mage spells, I'll look into it. If it has, that plus 40 strength, and if the fighter has a crappy blessing, I might look into replacing the fighter with it.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one.
That's pretty much mostly it.
I think if it has HP as well, it could be a decent play. Because honestly, the thing that holds the thief back is, well, it's promote 1, but the HP growth is a big concern as well for primary melee. But like, if you're going to do a 2-man melee strat, I think having HP can make it like, black belt be something that you can use. Fizzle, do you have anything else for this round before we head into final thoughts?
I just want to give a congratulations to all our finishers that finished, that qualified out of the play-in race. I just want to go down the list real quick. In first place on our stream, we have Krellin, who finished at 1 hour, 20 minutes, 55 seconds. In second place off stream, we've got Zero Cool 512, who finished at 1 hour, 23:11. Third place on stream, we've got Demon Frog that finished at 1 hour, 23:49. Fourth place on stream, we've got Danny383 finishing with 1 hour 28:33. Fifth place off stream, we've got Czar finishing at 1 hour 33:28. Sixth place off stream, we've got Guardian Marcus at 1 hour 34:51. Seventh place off stream, we've got Dark Moon EX at 1 hour 39:43. Eighth place off stream, Jay Coper at 1 hour 39:43. That's a dead tie between 7th and 8th. And then 9th place on stream, we've got Hate the 13th at 1 hour 45:10. GG to everyone that made it through.
Yeah, GG to everyone, and thank y'all for restreaming for us and for tracking and commenting for us.
Yeah, no problem. So maybe we'll go, as you kind of talking anyways, we'll just start with you, Hate, if you have any kind of final thoughts before we wrap this stream up.
Woo! 64th seed!
That is... Yep. Danny, any final thoughts?
What bit of brain power I had left to think of one? That was fun. Sure, we'll say it was fun. That was incredibly stressful. There is no one more shocked that I just made brackets than me. I'll gladly let someone kick my butt in the first week and move on. That's good. Yep. So, but yeah, just GG to everyone who made it through. GG to my restream mates. High five, guys. Good job. And thanks to Jet and Fizzle for pulling double duty and doing all the work for the restream tonight. And Randomania for having us. And I'm gonna go eat a cheeseburger because I'm really hungry.
Oh man, I was just about to go get curry, but now cheeseburger's on my mind.
Right?
So if you like this stream, definitely go check out some Papa John's stuffed crust pizza. This tournament is sponsored. Yeah, no, GG's, Danny. How do you feel about playing Thunder in round 1 when you inevitably get him?
You know what? There is a what we're doing is the first week of brackets, we're making it built in that you will not get one of your pod mates.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, Thunder kicks my butt round 2. Ding!
Moving over to Demon Frog, any kind of final thoughts?
Kind of expand on the thanks. We just everybody that's done restreams and comms and tracking and all this for just all the pods. Because we've had some days where we've had 8, 9, 10 races, and we've gotten most of them that people wanted got on the air. So thanks to everybody out there that has kind of done that with the crew. I really enjoyed the kind of the pod concept as opposed to doing the Swiss. That was really fun. And I'm kind of like Danny. I'm looking forward to getting absolutely stomped week 1.
And moving over to our first overall runner, Krellin. Any final thoughts?
Thank you, everyone. This has been my first spring tournament. I remember when Danny was saying during the Duck Derby that we were coming for, and we did. This has been fantastic. Thank you all the restreamers. Thank you all the trackers. This takes a tremendous amount of effort once again from everybody. All the hours put in, all the getting everything together. It takes a phenomenal amount of work. This is a great community, and anybody can join in on this. The Duck Derby is coming around the corner. There's going to be what is it? 8 weeks? I think 8 weeks of training for
Yeah,
anyone that's new.
yeah. The boot camp starts May 10th with the first reveal stream. Seeds and stuff get dropped the next day. 8 weeks of that, and then Duck Derby around the beginning of July.
Absolutely. Anybody can come out and join this. This is a phenomenal place to be. This is a great community. If you want to join, please, we'd love to have you.
And then we can teach you to kick our butts too.
Yup.
Oh, I did have a question. Everyone's talking about monster in a box, and I have no clue what that is. I'm still new at this.
Perfect. It's a flag that Monster in a Box is basically that 40 random chests throughout the game are going to have a random B-side trap tile guarding them, and in order to win, to get the item that's hidden behind it, you have to kill the monsters. If you run, you don't get it, but you can run, and everything is runnable. Now, the other side of things is that a key item cannot be behind Monster in a Box. However, White Shirt and Power Bomb can be. So if you skip a box, you might skip your key item for the dungeon and end up full clearing Sky for no reason. So it's a controversial flag because there can be some feels bad moments with it, but you can work around it by saving and getting levels early if you can. Yeah.
Interesting. This is going to be fantastic. I'm just glad to make the brackets. This is going to be a great race. I'm going to get destroyed first round, I'm sure, but I made it. I'm proud of everybody here. We all made it on stream. That's fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll get my final thoughts and I'll link it over to our restreamer and co-com store this week to wrap things up. So yeah, this has been great. I want to thank Fizzle for doing everything that I didn't do in the stream. He did a fantastic job. I want to thank our runners I want to thank our runners for putting on a great show. Honestly, you guys all went in different directions. It was a fascinating 4-person race to watch. Randomania 2 was where it was at for this one. And yeah, if you want to join, as I said, Duck Derby program coming up, I would highly recommend it. And yeah, Fizzle, want to take us home?
Yeah. Big shout outs to Randomania for hosting us. Big shout outs to Jad for doing everything that I didn't do. And for everyone at the Final Fantasy Randomizer community, we will see you next time, coming up next week with the round of 64. Until then, have a good night, everyone.